I-86 After Dark recommends simply the best cleaning services. Call 716-912-6940. Western New York's cleaning and restoration leader. From Buffalo to Long Island, this is I-86 After Dark.
Welcome to I-86 After Dark, everybody. Of course, it is me, the Ginger Hammerite. Yes, I am actually back this week. And of course, we got Buffalo Bob. We got our new friend Alex here. Guys, how's it going?
Very good, Bob. I'm very welcome to be here on this live of this After Dark show.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you've been killing it with getting some interviews too, which we're not going to spoil it for anybody yet. But no, we got some interesting stuff coming up. And then Bob, how's it going? It's only about 2 days before we meet again.
Yeah, 2 days until we go to Pittsburgh. So that's going to be exciting. It's our last Road to 32 for a little while, but it's finally nice to see you come out of hibernation after a while, you sack of shit.
Oh, I got 2 words for you. So anyways, but no, it'll be good. So for those who don't know, yes, Road to 32 Pittsburgh is coming up starting on Friday. So we're going to start filming some of that stuff. And of course, we'll be at Acrisure Stadium on Friday for the stadium tour. Of course, we're going to be there Sunday for the game. And then, of course, we're going to do some other stuff on there. I'm going to be driving probably about half the way through a freaking snowstorm. So we'll see how things go. But you know what? It's all good. And I figured I already planned it out. As long as I leave by 7 a.m., I'll be fine. So I'm not too worried about it. It gives me plenty of time to get down there, which I know it's going to be about 4 hours. So then I drive plenty of times.
Well, you know what? It's funny because my wife and I were talking about this earlier, and we were like, oh, honey, what time should we leave? And she comes up to me. She's like, you know what? If we get past New York traffic, we should be there within an hour. So we're like, what time do you want to leave? And she's like, oh, let's leave at 6. And I said, babe, you know it's Black Friday weekend, right? Do you want to leave at least like 5:30? And she's like, nope, let's leave at 6. I'm like, you stubborn bastard.
Well, I mean, she does have a point. I mean, I just think about it. I just thought about it tonight. I mean, I did some last minute stuff and had to run to 3 places before I jumped on the show here. And I will say, Sam's Club, busy. Walmart, hell on earth like it normally is before Black Friday. And then Wegmans was busy. So that's how that was.
Absolutely. So, Alex, what do you like to do on Black Friday? Do you like to go shopping for Sabres gear?
Yeah, absolutely. I am looking to go into this Devils versus Sabres game and looking to see what items is in the merchandise of lower percent off so I can look for a good black and red go-ahead stuff. And if it was lower than the price of a jersey, I would love to take a new custom one and get myself a customized with my last name, like on my back, and take the C patch, and it will look real cool in the new me.
Absolutely. Well, I guess before we get to the main topic, because we have a lot to get into, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so for me, Alex Tischendorf, huge Buffalo Sabres fan, over 19 years. So back then, I had my first game in 2010 watching the Stanley Cup playoffs against Boston, and I was kind of nervous when I was a little kid, but I thank God for my parents, my brothers, taking me there for my first game when I was 9 years old. And it was right at the 327 section. It was a nice high view up there. I was pretty scared of heights, but I got used to it, and it was a nice high view to see everything up there. And then I just saw 2 goals like Craig Rivet, Thomas Vanek, and I was hoping if we were going to advance to the playoffs like 2007, but unfortunately Boston just kicked their asses right out of it. It's like, dang it. Who did it well? Brad Marchand, Stan Ochara, and it's just totally ridiculous about that. But it was a great battle, though.
So basically, you're like this big like collector of like autographs, and you're like a big Sabres fan, I suppose.
Yes, you're correct. And I have been following autograph signs for 9 years. Back then, when I was a teenager, and I just got jealous of one of my friends, and I was worried, and I don't know how I'm going to meet the players. So I was pretty sad with myself, but my father gave me this update on where to go. Like Ryan O'Reilly was coming at David Adams Thursday December 15, 2016, and I was really excited to meet and greet my first ever player in my dreams. So I thanked him for putting me off the hook on the starting off on this book on the charts, and I have been following lots of medias and autographs like this. So that's why I'm keeping my eyes out on the lookout to collect some more. So in 2017, I had Rasmus Ristolainen, then the two rookies, Evan Rodriguez and Justin Bailey, before the season ended.
There you go.
Nice. Good stuff. I'll tell you, man. You're probably too young to remember, but it actually Bob knows a couple of things I've told him. But the old auditorium, I actually did have the opportunity to see some games in there growing up before the KeyBank Center opened, and hard to believe that the odd's been gone over 20 years now. But I will tell you, you think the KeyBank Center is steep? Holy crap! You should have seen the odd. It's like about 5 times steeper in the upper deck, and literally.
Yeah.
Like falling over if you're walking up or down, but it's but great building, of course. I mean, I got to see some games in there. I've seen more in the KeyBank Center, obviously, just based on how old I am. But no, it was a fun time to say the least. Just being a part of that. So yeah, definitely, we're looking forward to having you be a part of our show, and of course being part of some of our behind the scenes with booking some interviews and different things, and of course. One thing we forgot, and this is normal, this is actually Wednesday, November 26th. That's the Thanksgiving special. So, of course, we're happy to be here. Feel free to comment on YouTube. We are live on all the platforms right now. And, of course, I've got a couple cans of Liquid Death. And, of course, tonight's episode, as always, is sponsored by Simply the Best Cleaning Services. If you need remediation work or you just need general house cleaning or insurance service, of course, give them a call. They sponsor us, 716-912-6940. Tell them that I-86 sent you, and they do some good work, and they're available all throughout the area. So with that being said, let's jump right into the Buffalo Bills. And, of course, we do have a couple things that ended up happening throughout the week. Obviously, what we saw on Thursday night was unacceptable. And I will tell you, first and foremost, I fell asleep during the game on Thursday night. I actually had to watch the replay on NFL Network. So what does that tell you, for starters? So then, when I'm looking at it, and I'm just going to cut to the chase. Joe Brady's got to be fired. Babbage has got to be fired. I got to say, McDermott is on the hot seat. And Brandon Beane, why did you have to keep a first-round pick instead of going after Jalen Waddle? And now, of course, today, you bring in Brandon Cooks. I'm like, what on earth are you thinking, Beane? I mean, seriously. It's like every single freaking person knows the mankind how the offense works. We run on the first 2 downs, pass on third, punt on fourth, typically, unless we actually convert. The offense has become very predictable, which is a problem like we had with Ken Dorsey, which is why he got fired. So, of course, now we're back to that whole situation, and basically Josh Allen's going to have to try to play hero ball because of the fact that we've been behind. Our run defense absolutely sucks. Of course, Deion Dawkins, the holding penalty on 4th and short, which, of course, killed the game for us. That third down play, which we could have gone for it, why we ended up shanking an extra point early in the game is beyond me. And literally, it's like every single freaking team known to mankind knows we have no wide receivers. Keon Coleman's not doing anything. He sat out for discipline reasons. And then, of course, now with what we have, Stonehands Davis. Gabe Davis is back. What has he done? Okay. He's made a couple catches. Whatever. But seriously, you had all offseason to get some wide receivers. That didn't happen. The market was better in the offseason. Now we're settling for Brandon Cooks.
Tell us how you really feel.
It's like, seriously, Beane. And here's the thing. And I like that you've gotten us back to winning. And I like that McDermott's gotten us back to winning. But here's the thing. And I'm looking at it now, like with everything here. Do we fire him right now? No, there's nobody out there. Who do you want? Chip fucking Kelly, who does absolutely nothing but get his ass fired from every single damn team.
Oh, no. Fuck Chip Kelly. All right.
It's like, what do you do? It's like, and the fact that we're reluctant to make a change at offensive coordinator. Hey, go get Brian Daboll. He's available. He just got his ass fired by the New York Giants for doing nothing except for basically had one good prima donna year with Danny Dimes, and then the rest turned to shit. So it's like, what do you do? Bring him back as OC. He actually knew how to run an offense. He actually knew how to get the best out of Josh Allen. He knew how to use wide receivers. Hell, he actually utilized the slot, which now with Brandon Cooks being here, hopefully Keon Coleman can go back to his natural spot as a slot receiver. Maybe we'll actually get something out of him unless he keeps his head buried up his ass. It basically ends up getting to the point where it's like, oh, you're going to sit on the bench because you ended up being 5 minutes late to this meeting again. It's like, Jesus Christ, guys. You've got 4 losses right now. New England is actually on top of the division. Who thought that was going to happen with Mike Vrabel? And you know what? Here we are. 7th place on the verge of being out because you were too fucking stubborn to do anything in the offseason with getting a wide receiver 1.
Oh my God. This is great. This is great.
Yeah, that was really good.
Is it too much to ask to get a wide receiver that's actually better than Brandon Cooks?
I'm sorry, man. I had to laugh because that was fucking great. You literally went on that entire rant for like 5 minutes without even taking a fucking breather or water in general.
I mean, it's like, seriously? It's like, one Bills drive. Do something and stop drafting like crap like you've done recently. It's like, good God. You knew the wide receiver by committee was not going to work. You still went ahead with it anyways. Joe Brady hasn't done anything. Babich absolutely sucks as a defensive coordinator, and why he's here, he's basically a coordinator in name only as far as I'm concerned. But it's like, literally, if I don't, like, I would say on the fan side of things, if I don't see one or both of them get fired, then you got a problem.
Yeah, for the most part. But I was gonna say is that Alex, how do you feel about all this?
Well, to me, about this conversation about the Bills and this move, and I just felt kind of disappointed about what is Brandon Beane thinking. He could have just think real fast on what we wanted on the wide receiving choice, and he's like Mr. Beanbag sitting his ass down right onto the hot seat, and need to fire that manager, and we don't have the right offense ability, and Joe Brady can't even just focus on the right coordinating job and want to get Josh Allen sacked and taken down and lose a couple yards like this. Like, come on, do something, Joe Brady. Let Josh Allen do its own shit. And then, what else? Because this guy, Sean McDermott, keeps on wasting all of our opportunities when we were right into the fucking 4th chance, right onto the last chance in the 4th quarter. I thought we got this right in the end zone, but nope, because our offense, guard, and the liners were not kind of like energized and toughened up after they keep getting bumped into their shoulders and their head concussions and protocols, and it's just ridiculous, man. Like, one of those guys in the coordinator need to get out of business and go work in the different program on the site. Like, I really believe that Brian Daboll from 2020 and 21, he has been the greatest offensive coordinator in our job when we had a really great aggressive team. So we're all praying. I really want to see Brian Daboll come back running the offense, and my praying in my whole votes that I want this to get the Bills team back in together. And for Brandon Cooks, totally a different solid move that we could take and call it a double cook team if we got this to go right on the passing yards and want to go for touchdowns like this. And we just need to take some controlling and have an ankle breaker if you're going to get tackled like this. You just got to twist your ankle in, go hip side to side if you want to avoid the checking, and then you can just move it on and score some points. And that is the real way how the Bills got to get doing.
Oh, I was gonna say is that I think out of the entirety of the situation, the Bills fucking suck, and I'm gonna be the only person in this room that's probably going to say this. Honestly, I would not feel upset if they missed the playoffs because mainly is if you have an incompetent coach for an entire tenure with an incompetent GM, it's nice that they were competitive for a few years, but it's gotten so bad to the point where they've gotten comfortable. Remember, Tom, a few months ago that I said to you was loyalty is the worst thing you can have for any team?
Well, right. We did talk about that here on the show.
What did I say to you? Do you remember?
Not exactly, but loyalty can kill stuff, and basically we may be starting to see that.
Well, there you go. I said that about McDermott a few years ago. I said the team is afraid to make change because they know Pagula can't find a coach for shit. So they're like saying, okay, well, we had this bald fuck on our team for almost 10 years, but he's gotten us playoff wins. But let's go get his arrogant right-hand man in Brandon Beane. Now, I'm not saying that Beane is a bad GM, but what I do think is that he is so far up his ass to the point where it's like you make all these deals, but then when you actually hit the right button to be competitive, you go and pay $140 million to a 35-year-old Von Miller. That didn't work out too well. And then you arrogantly come out and you say, oh, we don't need a wide receiver. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. When you say something like that in the middle of training camp and you don't move on it, that's a bad thing to have. That's a very serious, arrogant character trait. Because the fact is that we've been saying for a few years, like, yeah, you have to go get your next, Stephon Diggs. You have to go get your next guy out. You go get Keon Coleman, and he's a total cancer. And then on top of all that, you then go dumpster diving, and you sign a bunch of fucking bums off the street that will probably do anything but do blowjobs in the middle of the street, mind you. And it's like coming out one end of the year and then coming out the right. And it's like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's that in the pee hole? Is that Brandon Cooks? Here, let me just put it through here. And then he comes right through. And it's like, Jesus, someone was going to suck their dick. And then the next thing you know, here comes Brandon Beane with Brandon Cooks. And it's like, I guess you have something to accommodate for. Because it's not like you were a total disaster at the deadline or something.
Right. And, of course, they cut Elijah Moore, one of our other wide receivers who's done virtually nothing. So it's like, in this case, of course, Gabe Davis got elevated. Mecole Hardman's hurt. So, of course, what did that signing do? Absolutely nothing. And then, of course, Keon Coleman's been a scratch the last 2 games. So that's a problem. And I don't see that getting better anytime soon. And literally, here's the thing. On ESPN.com, Brandon Beane said after a trade deadline that the team tried to acquire players, but no deals came together. Hello, Brandon. You do it before the trade deadline when you actually have players available.
Yep. And
AKA Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, and another thing, too, is that he also goes dumpster diving for players that should have been cut years ago. What was it? Gabe Davis. Shaq Lawson. Yeah. Shaq Lawson. Gabe Davis. Cole Beasley, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Next thing you know, he's going to go out and say TJ Graham, who's 37 years old, and be like, hey, TJ, you want to come out of retirement, buddy? You want to play second slot receiver for the Bills? Sure. That would be fucking great.
Yeah, this wide receiver core is absolute trash right now. And why it was not addressed in the offseason, especially with how this division was supposed to be, it's unthinkable. I mean, literally, at this point, we're on the verge of missing. And, the more I think about it, if we were to miss the playoffs, you know what? That actually may not be a bad thing because I would think of it as the Great Reset. Basically, it's going to force everybody to really take a hard look at everything and really make some decisions. Now, the only problem is if Terry were to fire Beane and McDermott, then we already know the only reason that the Bills have actually been better is because Terry's had his hands off the team. Look at what he's done with the Sabres. It's the polar opposite. He has his hands everywhere on the team, and they've been absolute shit for over 15 years at this point. So that's the one thing we got to kind of look at, too. It's like, is the grass greener on the other side? And in that sense, that's where I'm very much up in the air right now because I do think changes have to be made. I don't like the fact that McDermott mentioned we're not going to make changes at OC because there have to be changes made at OC. And the fact that he said he's not going to wait, he's not going to do it until after the season, if it even happens, that's unacceptable too. And look at what happened before Brady was hired. Ken Dorsey was fired in week 10 here. So it's not unheard of. Go get Daboll. He's available. Bring his fat ass back here and let him be the OC. And maybe we'll salvage a season.
I love how blunt you are about Daboll. You're just like, go get him.
Yeah, I gotta get the ball back. This is what I'm saying back to.
Prince truck.
It's like, holy fuck.
I mean, listen, a liquid death for all I care.
Well, I'll put it this way. If Daboll were to come back as the coach, he's probably going to want to bring in his own guys, like he did with the Giants. And he had the right to it. But the only other thing I wouldn't be against either is, let's forget about Daboll for a second. What about someone like Jon Gruden? How would you feel about that?
I mean, he's been out of the league for a while, but he's also been known to have some decent offenses. The only thing that I'm worried about with Gruden is when he went to the Super Bowl and won with Tampa, that was Dungy's team. It was Dungy's system. After that, he did nothing. So the thing I worry about, yes, he is a good football mind, and he knows what to look for, which is good, but can he actually get the job done? That's what I'm wondering. Now, when you look at what he had in Vegas, I mean, well, in Oakland also, thinking about the switch between both cities, they had nothing. They virtually did not have much to work with. They didn't have a number one QB. They really didn't have much of an offense to work with. Their defense was okay, but Oakland/Vegas, I mean, they haven't done much. And they're still not doing much. I mean, Pete Carroll hasn't done anything with that team this year. So if you give Gruden the team that we have, and maybe he makes a few tweaks to it, is it possible that he can maximize what we have? Sure. I'm not saying he can't. But I almost have to wonder, is there, thinking about it, is there someone, for example, like the Chicago Bears, how they ended up grabbing one of the Detroit Lions coordinators, and look at how they're playing this year. They're winning games. They're actually winning in the NFC North. So I almost have to wonder, do you go after a really, really good coordinator and give them the keys to the car? Or do you go after someone more like a Gruden who would be out there? And no, I do not want Rex Ryan back, because I do not want to look at his fat ass in the foot fetish with Sanchez like he had.
No. Bad dog. No, we don't want fucking Rex Ryan here. Fuck you.
No,
all right?
No, I don't like him. I'm uncomfortable with his fetish
Thank you.
addiction that he's doing.
Yeah, the butt fumble had like Sanchez tattooed on his ass or something. Who knows?
It's already bad enough that we've already had to be reminded about his little foot fetish with the Jets. And believe me, as I live down here, I get a lot of coverage on the Jets. And holy shit, the media coverage that Rex Ryan got when he was with the Jets was just out of this world. And then going to Buffalo, he just won up them everything. And it's like, phew, skyrocketed at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And he didn't have the right tools for the defense. We know that because he switched from like a 4-3 to a 3-4. And he didn't have the personnel. That was one big reason. And then, of course, trying to run the ball, he didn't have anyone that could do that. I mean, he had McGahee, but then he blew his knee out and his career went bust real quick. But, I mean, he really didn't put anything together to actually make things happen. So, of course, McDermott, being an unknown at the time, I mean, granted, he's from the Andy Reid coaching tree, which is actually a lot better than the Bill Belichick coaching tree, which, fuck you, Belichick, you missed your bowl game. So we'll tell you that going to North Carolina didn't do him any favors. But when you look at the Andy Reid coaching tree, generally they are more successful. So yes, we're in a better spot because we've won games. And yes, congratulations, McDermott. You've won 100 games as a Bills coach. You're second all time behind Marv Levy. Okay, that part's good. You've won games, but you have not had good coordinators. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that's holding them back. And then, of course, don't get me started on 13 seconds again, because I am totally sick and tired of that whole conversation, because, of course, we all know he botched that real bad. But it's like literally learn how to get some good coordinators and maybe do some better drafting, which is address the wide receiver room, bulk up the run defense, because you absolutely can't stop the run. if your life depended on it right now. And then there you go. Those are the two major problem areas. You've got good tight ends. We've got good coverage for them. We have good routes for it, but you don't have a wide receiver 1 and a wide receiver 2. And because of the fact that we don't have a wide receiver 1 and 2, basically we're stuck having to deal with either Gabe Davis, Keon Coleman, if he actually plays, and basically we can't use Coleman in his natural slot spot. So that's the other problem. You don't have a slot wide receiver.
No, you don't. And this is a big problem the Bills have had for the last couple of years. Ever since Diggs left, it's been a big issue. It's like they tried so many different combinations in the last few years, and they said, well, we're too fucking cheap to go out and get an eligible wide receiver. And look at this up-and-coming class coming out of free agency. You have A.J. Brown, who might want out. You have Devontae Smith, who might want out. So what does Bean do? Let's go get 32-year-old Brandon Cooks. Oh, that's going to solve all their problems on offense. Hey there, huh? How about that?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's probably going to die out there on Sunday because he's old as shit. And considering that you and me, sir, are going to Pittsburgh to watch that game, oh my God, that's going to be a fucking nightmare. I'm almost certain of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Alex has his 2 cents on this whole situation about the Bills.
Yep, I do. So the problem is, like, we don't have a good coach and 2 different coordinators on offense and defense, and it just feels like total odd and getting robbed because Terry Pegula is probably like one of the bad, stupid, the development. He is totally the worst at who owns the franchise in all Buffalo, and it's starting to put us down into the dark hole of the path.
God.
Absolutely. Oh my fucking God.
Crippen, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's good, y'all? How you guys doing, man?
Oh,
Great.
doing good, man. Hey, I will tell you, you're missing the snow down in Charlotte because I'm getting absolutely blasted with it in the falls right now. So
Yeah, my youngest king, Quincy, left at 3 a.m. with his mother, headed to Buffalo from Charlotte, and they got there around a little bit after 12 o'clock, and they guess they beat the storm. So everything's good, man. Everybody's safe, and everybody's in town safe. So happy Thanksgiving, man, to all your listeners, man. Shout out from Nickel City Crew to I-86, man.
yeah,
We love you guys.
absolutely. And you guys have been kicking ass over there, you and DTE, and it's glad to have you part of us as well. And of course, Rob, I don't know if you caught the first 10 minutes of the show. I totally went off the deep end like you did on your show this past week.
Let's just say that Tom had a fucking aneurysm about the Bills for the last 10 minutes.
He should, man. I mean, it's been bad. It's been bad.
It is.
It's been bad.
Yeah, and I know you talked a lot about it this past week too. I mean, the wide receiver problems, Keon Coleman discipline issues, the list goes on.
Listen, I think that Brandon Beane has done a disservice. What did he do? He came on WGR and he pumped his chest and he beat his chest like a gorilla, and he said, anything about the wide receiver conversation is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And in doing that, in part of doing that, he kind of put a bullseye on his back. Whether he wanted to or whether he realized that he was or not, he put a bullseye on his back. And it's a situation now where, listen, we've got to find a way to give Josh answers when he's back there, dropping back, and he just doesn't have a lot of answers. And I lay it at the feet of Brandon Beane. I do. I lay it at the feet of Brandon Beane.
Absolutely. I was actually going to say, if you look up the word dumbass in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, you'll see Brandon Beane's face on it. Am I wrong?
Man.
Am I
You
wrong?
guys are a
about
little
that?
bit. You guys are a little bit more, further along than I am. I mean, listen. Let's keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
The late draft picks and stuff like that Brandon Beane has accumulated. A lot of them, Matt Milano and stuff like that. Even Deion Walker this past year, it's been okay. However, the problem is that when you come on the show, what you're doing is you're stating that this is not a problem. This is not going to be a hindrance in our progression. and it has been a hindrance. We saw this last game against Houston, how, you know what I mean, the receivers weren't able to gain separation. And then in addition to that, Josh was under duress with, Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter. And then all of a sudden you've got a game plan that looks like poop. It looks like poop. I don't know if you guys cuss on the 86 network.
Yeah, we do.
It looked
Yes,
like
we do.
it looked like dog shit. And because it looked like dog shit, you've got to carry it. You've got to carry it. And I think that Brandon Beane carries a lot of the blame when it comes to the team that he fielded and how they're reacting to the pressure, how they're reacting to different situations that they're in. I just think that it's a bad situation, man. It has not been good. It has not been positive.
Yeah, wide receiver by committee doesn't work, and then of course with your line up front and allowing Josh Allen to get sacked 8 times. I mean, you can't have that happen at all. I mean, that's just unacceptable. But not addressing the wide receiver core, of course, that's the big issue. Run defense is another issue because obviously we can't stop the run if our life depended on it. And it's like literally, and Rob, you've probably noticed this as well. But one of the things I'm noticing, it seems like the offense is getting a lot more predictable compared to what it was last year. And it just
they run mesh. I run mesh. I spam mesh on college football. I spam it. I spam it.
Yeah, it's like
Joe Brady is not supposed to be spamming mesh. He's not supposed to be spamming mesh.
Right.
He's an offensive coordinator for one of 32 teams. He's not supposed to be spamming mesh, Tom.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to be doing that, Bobby.
Yep.
Alex, if your OC is spamming mesh, it's a problem. Because what happens on mesh? And they talked about it. Joe Marino, a lot of the guys have talked about it. What happens on mesh? What happens on mesh is that I am trying to create confusion. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to, quote unquote, buy time. And then in addition to trying to buy time, I have to wait for my guys to get open. It's a problem.
It is.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say is that this whole debacle reminds me of what the Pittsburgh Steelers are currently, because if you notice within the last 10 years or so, they consistently change coordinators and they consistently change the system schemes players. Who doesn't change? The head coach, because the Steelers said, oh, you know what? Mike Tomlin won us a Super Bowl nearly 20 years ago. Let's keep him.
Sean McDermott doesn't even have that leeway. That leeway.
Right.
Even if he wanted to grant it to him, Bobby, he doesn't have that leeway, right?
He never has. I mean, considering
I'm not talking about the Sabres right here. I'm talking about the Bills. Y'all got me in the wrong space. I'm in the wrong space if I'm here talking about the Bills. Well, shout out to Nickel City Crew. Shout out to I-86 Network. Listen, if you want to talk about the Bills, you've come to the right place. Sean McDermott doesn't even have that leeway, right?
Right, exactly.
Am I wrong?
He hasn't.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you were right.
He hasn't won an AFC title. He hasn't won anything.
And you wonder why the Steelers are a shit show.
Come on, Alex. Come on, Bobby. What are we doing? What are we doing? My oldest king's name is Bobby. I'm Robert Calvin Crippen II. My oldest king is Robert Calvin Crippen III. Anytime I want an inside conversation, I said it's only for Robert Crippens. That means it's only me and my son. My dad done passed on. It's only me and my son. We can talk. Everybody else can think that they know what's going on, can maybe comment on what they think is going on. Only the Robert Crippens can actually converse and talk about what's going on. Come on, Bobby. Come on, Tom. Come on, Alex.
And Rob, here's actually a fun fact too. And I know we've known each other over 20 years now. But I can tell you, it's like I think I might have told you I'm actually a third also. So it's actually my dad's junior. My grandfather, who's passed on several years ago, he was senior, and then we do not have a fourth yet. So that's where we're at on that. But
yeah, I'm relying on Bobby to bring me the fourth before I can actually get out of here and check out of my time. So in the meantime, I'm trying to get a parade. I want to go to the same parade that you guys want to go to, right?
Exactly.
I'm not some type of crazy fan or anything like that. Shout out to Nickel City Crew. But listen, I feel like Josh Allen, listen, Josh Allen has his hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah.
He's responsible for some of the stuff that's going on. Okay. I'm not one of those guys that are going to absolve 17 of all sins. I'm not one of those type of guys. I'm not his priest. However, what I will say is that it's important to realize and to remember that not only cannot Josh do it by himself all alone, however, in addition to, he needs help. Okay?
Yes.
Alex, he
Absolutely.
needs help. You're shaking your
Yeah, he
head.
does need help on
Tom, he
running
needs
and getting
help.
on the top
Bobby,
and stretch line and
Bobby,
down underneath
Bobby,
the
just like I'm talking to my Bobby.
He's out.
Bobby,
Tell,
he
tell us
needs
how you
help.
really feel. Tell us how you really
He
feel.
needs
Yeah, I
help.
do feel
Shout
the
out from
energy that
Nickel
Allen
City
needs more
Crew.
help in
On
this
behalf
offense.
of my co-host DT, Dump Truck is in the building with me in spirit.
Oh
In
my god, where
spirit.
the fuck is he?
He needs help. He needs help. He can't do it all on his own. So happy
Yeah.
Thanksgiving to all of you guys out there on the I-86 network, excuse me. Shout out to and happy Thanksgiving to all of Nickel City Crew. Just remember that Josh is not able, yes, we like to think of him as a tide that lifts all boats, right? We like to think of him that way, right? He lifts all boats. He's the tide that lifts all boats. However, he needs help. He can't do it all by himself.
Oh yeah, no,
And
obviously.
when we put everything on this plate, you could have one of those glad plates. You could have one of Mama's big plates tomorrow. You could do whatever you want to do. But if you put mac and dressing and cranberry sauce and turkey and everything, all of a sudden, like the plate is getting kind of thin. You better have a real nice solid plate if you're trying to put everything on the plate at the same time. I want a little bit of white meat. I want a little bit of dark meat. I want it all. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to carry that load. It's hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's real hard to me too.
They have so many mouths to feed.
I
Oh,
love
shit.
y'all over at I-86, man. I love y'all, man. It's just
who would have
hard, man.
thought
It's
we would have
hard.
gone the first 36 minutes on a rant between me and Crippen?
First, I had to watch his stupid ass, and then I gotta have you, and it's like, God damn it, Rob.
Yeah, you guys are getting the enemy.
But if I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. If I'm
No,
lying,
you're
tell me I'm
You're
lying.
right, man.
You're not, though, because the Bills need help. They have to give Allen the weapons. And I spoke about this 2 weeks ago, and it's such a perfect scenario. When Allen first came into the league, the Bills were doing the right thing. They basically said, we're going to build around him, which they said, go get Cole Beasley, go get Smoke Brown, fine, cool, whatever. But then as he progressed throughout his career, they said, wow, we got ourselves somebody who could be better than Dan Marino, someone who could be better than John Elway. Let's just fuck it up by letting him do all the work. Let's not get him any wide receivers because he's Superman.
And that's my biggest fear is that they turn Josh Allen into Dan Marino.
Well,
They
let me
turn
ask
him
you
into
this.
Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
They
Well, let me
turn
ask
him
you
into
this.
Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, well,
He's
let me ask
better
you
than
this.
that, right? Don't we
Well, let
all
me
know
ask-
he's better than that?
He's better than
Right.
everyone
He's
in the
better than
quarterback.
all of that.
Well,
He's
I was
better
gonna
than
say-
that.
Well, I was going to ask you this, is that how would you feel, Rob, about the Bills potentially missing the playoffs? Because I said it a few minutes ago, was I would be fine with them missing the playoffs because of the idea that if
I
you get
know.
rid of
I've heard
McDermott and
that.
Dean,
I've heard
then you have
that.
to wipe it all.
I'm on the opposite side. I'm on the opposite side, Bobby. I've heard that, and I've heard those arguments that let it just all blow up. Listen, we have to remember who our owner is, right? So, respectfully, with all due respect, happy Thanksgiving to your audience. Know that Terry Pagula lost. He lost his companion. She's smarter than him, by the way. By the way,
Yes.
by the way, Kim was smarter than Terry. Okay. By the way, he lost his companion. He lost somebody that was very close to him. She's not physically dead, but her brain, she's gone. So because of that, he is now in a situation where he's running stuff and he's not even sure what to do. He's not really sure what to do. He's on uneven ground. He's not really sure what he's supposed to be doing. Do I go left? Do I go right? I don't have. He doesn't have his anchor. He doesn't have his compass to help him with those types of decisions. I say that to say this: Sean McDermott is not going anywhere. Brandon Beane is not going anywhere. When you ask why, the reason is because of the Sabres. That's the reason. I literally just came off a Twitter space talking and arguing, and they all like, well, Rob, you right, you right, you right. At the end, after getting cursed off of there, and they taking my mic, I'm like, listen, they're like, you right, you right, you right. Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane aren't going anywhere because Terry is rudderless. Okay, he's rudderless.
Mhm.
He doesn't have any sense of direction. Right?
Right.
Don't you see it with the Sabres? Don't
So
you see
hold
it with
on.
the Sabres?
Oh God, yeah.
He's
Well, that's what.
rudderless. He's
Yeah, I was
rudderless.
Losing right now, by the way, too. Yeah, Sabres are down at least 1-0.
So not for nothing. So you believe that the whole thing is because of his correlation with the Sabres? Because I'm going to put this respectively.
100%. 100%.
Because
100%, Bobby. Only
Go
reason
ahead.
I say that is because he's only one man. He's only one man. He's not two. He's not Terry Pagula, owner of the Bills, plus Terry Pagula, owner of the Sabres. He is one man. He's Terry Pagula, right? Can we
Yes.
agree on that?
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
then, if you add both things in together, he's embarrassed by the Sabres. There's no way he's firing McDermott. There's no way he's firing Bean. He's embarrassed by his Buffalo Sabres.
Well, I
He's
would
in a
say is
situation
that
where he feels like he needs to make sure that he has that continuity, right?
True.
He has
True.
that
And especially,
continuity.
yeah. And we've talked about the Sabres a bunch of times on this show with how screwed up the GM is and the roster moves they've made and how that team is underperforming basically with where they're at, which we'll get into that in a little bit. Also in the second half of the show, we'll talk a little bit about
I think that Brandon Bean and Sean McDermott are safe. They are not in a situation where they are going to lose their jobs because Terry Pagula is only one man and he is embarrassed by the product that he puts out there for the hockey team. He's embarrassed. And because he's
Good point.
embarrassed, it hurts the Bills in respects to any type of progression. Sean McDermott is not the guy that's going to take us over the hump, but he'll never move on from him because he broke the drought. He brought a level of professionalism. He brought culture. He brought all of those different types of buzzwords that we love to cling on to.
Right.
See,
And
I just choose not to genuflect at the altar
sure.
of Sean McDermott. I choose not to do that.
I
And
genuinely hope you're wrong about this because a lot of people have now started to say, because you mentioned Twitter before, somebody said to me earlier that there was a new favorite to be fired. It might not happen right away, but McDermott could be fired at like mid-January if, let's say, they don't go far in the playoffs.
nobody credible is telling you that. Nobody credible is telling you that McDermott is out. Nobody credible, Bobby. And I don't mean to cut you off. Nobody credible is telling you that. That's just people talking. I've been saying that McDermott needs to be out since 13 seconds. Nobody gives a shit what I'm talking about, right? on Thanksgiving Eve. Nobody cares what I'm talking about. I've been done with them. Nobody cares. Anybody that's credible that's talking about the Buffalo Bills, talking about the NFL in a real sense, he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. And it's for multiple reasons. And one of the reasons I posit to you all and to your audience is that because it's just not in the nature now that he has lost his wife, now that he is embarrassed by his Buffalo Sabres. He is not in a situation where he's going to make any type of move. He's not trying to ruffle any feathers, man. He's not trying to ruffle any feathers.
Well, I was going to say
No.
a smart businessman would sell the team, but he won't do it because it's a prideful thing.
Oh no, those are his toys. Come on, you when you win the lotto, and then I tell you to give up your first two great
you ain't
toys
doing
that you like playing with. No, you're gonna tell me fuck off, Rob. Fuck off. I'm not giving up my toys. I just won the fucking lotto. Like no, he's got his great toys. Come on, Alex. Give up your greatest toys. Give me your two best toys you have. Like no, fuck off.
Oh,
No,
God.
I've got a big screen that projects onto the side of the house, and it's 30 feet by whatever feet, and I enjoy playing my game because it's great. It's fun.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's just a toy for for Pagula. I'm just trying to say that realistically, he is not making any type of headwaves. He is embarrassed by the Buffalo Sabres, and that hinders how he controls the Buffalo Bills. All that means is that he's more likely to accept complacency because of the fact that the Sabres are the Sabres and the Bills are the Bills. So I'm not rocking any boat. Brandon Beane is my GM. Sean McDermott is my head coach. And I'm
Well,
not going to rock any boat. I've lost my wife. I'm not rocking any boats.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens down the line because so much could change within the next 6 months or so. I mean, if the pressure really does mount, then there may not be an option at that point where Pagula feels the heat and he might have to fire him.
He
You
doesn't
never know.
have any heat. They're building a new stadium. You don't feel the heat from that new stadium. You think that Terry Pagula is the type of person that is getting ready to build the new Ralph and they're going to hire a new coach? Like, all of it sounds silly. So I
He
told
had
my
no
Twitter
problem doing it
space,
with the Sabres. As far as I've covered the team,
no. They're building a new stadium. They just asked for PSLs. They just, come on.
Yeah, I was gonna
Let's
say
be
they're down to
realistic.
like the last
Let's be
9,000
real.
or something.
Let's be
Yeah.
realistic. So as long as we're staying in reality, Sean McDermott is the head coach of the Buffalo Bills next year in 26, and Brandon Beane is the general manager. And then maybe possibly we can get Dad's attention. I named an episode years ago the same way, and I said, "Is there any way that we can yell loud enough in the back seat where Dad? What does Dad say? If you guys keep yelling, I'm gonna pull the car over." Clark Griswold. I'm gonna pull the car. I'm gonna pull the car over. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pull the
That's
car
so-
over.
Oh yeah,
You gotta
National
make enough
Lampoon's
noise.
Christmas
There's
Vacation.
not enough noise with a new stadium, and everybody is just in a joyful mood. Just not enough. I'm that motherfucker stuck in the attic, and I'm Chevy Chase, and I'm listening to what's it called to Ray Charles. I'm
There
just
you
listening
go.
to it in the attic.
with Ray Charles, right? Oh yeah.
Yeah, when the time is ringing round, whatever he says. This
I gotta
motherfucker
tell you,
crying to the fucking to his old highlight tapes. Him and his family
right.
just crying, just bawling. Nothing he could
Alex,
do.
Alex, I
I
think
gotta
we
wait for
got the
everybody to get
best
home.
crash out. I think we got the best crash out of 2025 so far between you and Tom. Me and Alex are just grabbing the popcorn and be like, "Hey, Alex, you want some? Oh yeah, sure, Bobby. Come on over. Let's watch it together."
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's kind of funny because it's like really only it's funny because I mean Rob and I go back a long ways, and for those who don't know, we went to high school together, so that's how we know each other. And literally for us, I think it's only like the second or third time we've actually been on a podcast together. It was like, yeah, we're bringing it tonight, man. We're bringing it. So it's all good, especially since it's the first time I've been back in a while.
No,
So-
I don't think we can. I don't think we can quantify. And all jokes aside,
yeah.
all jokes aside, you can't quantify losing your rock. You know what I mean? We couldn't quantify that because Kim is dead. She's not physically dead, but she's dead to Terry. So that's got to be a hard thing to go through. I can't even begin to imagine. And Bobby was right. She is smarter than him. You know what I mean? Their daughter is a top 20, top 10, you
Yeah,
know
I
what I
think
mean,
she's in the
tennis
top
player.
10
Like,
now. Yeah.
listen, man, you going through a lot. It's hard. It's hard. So I couldn't even imagine what he's going through. I'm not even going to pretend that he does. But I do know that from 13 seconds on, I've been done with McDermott. I've been done with him since 13 seconds. And then
Exactly.
after 13 seconds, excuses. And I hear different things that come up, and I hear different reasons why things are supposed to be different.
Mhm.
You know, it's hard. It's a. I
Ow.
hard. This is gonna be the same you have. So you got to get.
I think we lost Rob for a little bit.
These are going to be section.
Yeah, I think he's kind of
Same
like
guys.
lagging in the internet that's coming down with some of the weather due to the severe or something.
No, he's
Could
down
be.
in Charlotte, so he ain't got the snow to worry about. So,
Yeah.
no, but But no, I was gonna say is it's
Yeah.
Rob's right. Rob's right, and and especially the whole 13 seconds. I mean, oh my God, we went off on that when that first happened.
You
I remember
and
that
Rob,
episode. I think that was like one of the ones I really went off.
yeah, no, you and Robert here literally went the deep end with the You two are like a married couple, I swear to God. Me and Alex are like the
Yeah,
kids.
man.
You're making us feel like children
13
watching it
seconds
on
was
TV
bad,
like this.
Bobby.
It
13
was.
seconds was bad. It was a bad night. It was a bad night. And I just
That was
got
a big
laughed. I
time
got
split.
laughed off the Twitter space. Before I joined you guys, I got laughed off my Twitter space. And they were saying, well, listen, McDermott, blame him however you want to blame him, but it makes no difference because there was nothing that we could do about 13 seconds. 13 seconds just happened. And what I said was that the second part of the second part of his job title is manage. So
Yeah.
what have we been looking for these last couple of weeks? We saw Josh Allen. He's got a malaise on his face. He's got a gloss on his face. Miami down in South Beach. And then we see it again in Houston. What does this do in Houston? He's running to the bench, grabbing his helmet, slamming it, saying, "What are we doing?" And Mitch Trubisky has got the hat over his mouth. You know what I mean? And we all joked about that. What did he say to him? We don't know. But my point is that we have had these types of problems with Josh, where Josh doesn't seem as engaged, and it's a problem. It's a
Yeah.
real thing. It's not fake. It's not pretend. Josh Allen needs help, and he does have a hand in that cookie jar. I'm not absolving 17. I will never absolve 17 because he's a part of the problem.
Right.
But what I told to the Twitter space is that I would hold it 80-20 and at the most 70-30. If you're telling me that it's Brady's fault 70%, then fine. Josh can take his 30. But you're not going to tell me that it's all on Josh. No, it's
No,
not.
definitely not all on them.
He needs help. He needs help, fellas. He needs help.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. I guess. Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, so I was going to say also, of course, and Rob, while we got you here, there's one hilarious thing that's going around online right now. And I can tell you, this is not credible from what I looked at. But apparently, some person out on YouTube decided to put out there that the New York Jets want to try and land Pat Mahomes, which will never happen in 1,000,001 years.
Yeah, that was a couple days ago on Twitter, and we all laughed at them and all made them feel stupid and silly for even typing their fingers to post it.
Yeah.
And we
Yes,
made them
it
all
is another.
feel we've already shamed them enough to
Yeah.
come on, stop. That's all fake.
It
It's all
is.
fake.
There's no way in 1,000,000 years that Mahomes would ever even consider going to New York
A
City.
million plus another 15,
Yeah,
right? There's another 15
exactly.
plus another
It would
15
never
million.
happen.
No,
It would
never.
never happen. So thinking about what's coming up, though, of course, we've got some Thanksgiving matchups tomorrow. And just before we go into the second half of the show and we take our break, what are you guys' thoughts about what we're going to see tomorrow afternoon?
Well, Alex, why don't you go first? Because you've been kind of the mute boy for a little bit.
Sure. Well, tomorrow for Thanksgiving, I'm gonna head over to the Bethesda Church with my friend Tara Stevens Whitney, the friend of mine that I came along with her. She is a cousin of the New Jersey Devils star defenseman Captain Scott Stevens. When I was impressing and introducing her after we met Wayne Primo and JP Dumont at the Buffalo store.
They're talking about football, Alex. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win tomorrow?
Yeah, about the Thanksgiving Day games
For tomorrow Thanksgiving, well, I would say let's go for the Cowboys. I really like to see the Cowboys rough them all up and get Mahomes choking up.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Fellas, I'm getting ready to sign off, so I'll let you guys go with it. And I appreciate that, Alex. I think that these are some of the best games that we've had on a Thanksgiving in a long time. You've got
Definitely.
Jameer Gibbs running over 200 yards, and he just looks explosive. A lot like James Cook, you know what I mean. But he gets more touches than James, and he's
Mhm.
great. So as I sign off, listen, the game's tomorrow. Again, happy Thanksgiving to all of I-86 Network, all of Bills Mafia, all of Nickel City Crew. I'm excited for tomorrow's games because of the fact that we get a chance to see Kansas City possibly lose again. And it's so garbage and so funny that I'm,
Oh,
praying on their demise like I always, have
yes.
to. But
Why
I'm
the
forced to pray
Indianapolis
on their
Colts
demise.
let them come back?
But boy, do I want them to
Oh,
lose. And last week is just funny. It's funny because here's one thing that I'll stake my claim in, and I'll leave you guys with this. Last year, before the divisional round, I was more nervous about playing the Ravens than I was the Chiefs. Well, Rob, we lose to the Chiefs and we lost, obviously 4 years. Why would you be more nervous about the Ravens? The reason was because of the fact, obviously, in the regular season, they whooped our ass 34-10, in
yep.
addition to the fact that they won all of their games last year. 12
Mhm.
games, one score. I got laughed off a Twitter space that I frequent. I got laughed off and you're crazy, Crip, and you're crazy, Crip, you're crazy. I said that the Chiefs weren't that good that last year. They got lucky.
Right.
One week against the Raiders. It was an early snap. Another week against the Broncos. It was a block field goal. Like they got lucky, right? They got lucky. The ball is oblong. It's not a basketball. It's oblong.
Mhm.
So sometimes weird shit happens. What
I
happens
don't.
this year up until last week? They lose every single football game by one score up until last week. They
Yeah.
lost every game because it's a lot of luck. And I know that luck is not popular. I know that luck is not something that we always want to be able to hang our hat on, but luck is a part of it. And because luck is a part of it, I'll be sitting on Thanksgiving tomorrow and hoping that the Bills get the breaks because I just wanted us to get the ticket into the playoffs. Weird shit happens in the playoffs. Weird shit
Very
happens.
true. Yeah. And teams can
Sometimes,
go on long runs.
sometimes weird stuff happens. You'll never get me to say and admit that a wild card team can't go all the way to the Super Bowl because I've seen it, right? We saw it with the
Yeah.
Giants and
Yeah.
Eli
We've seen
Manning's
it happen.
shitty ass and Mario
Steelers.
Manning. We saw it, Steelers. We've
Yeah.
seen
Yeah.
wild
Saw
card
Peyton
teams go
Manning
all the
get
way.
carried by his team on the Denver Broncos that one
Would
year.
I bet my house on it? Would I bet my mortgage on it? No. But I
You
but
Right.
I
probably
do
would. I wouldn't.
acknowledge, but I do acknowledge that weird shit happens in the playoffs. So let's just get in and let's see what happens. And I
Yeah.
feel comfortable, me personally, on behalf of Nickel City Crew, and I can speak for my co-host DT. Dump truck, we feel the same way. I'll just let it. I'll let it fall. I'll let the chips fall.
Yeah.
I'll let the
Good
chips
stuff.
fall.
Good stuff. And of course, I gotta say, next time you're up here, Crippen, let me know because I gotta have some beers with you and get you some wings up here too. It's been too long, so we'll
The
have to do
Bills
that
fucked
at
it
some
up. We
point.
gave up the
I
Baltimore
know.
game thinking we would go be there for the
Right.
playoffs.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Drake May and the motherfuckers want to be in the driver's seat.
Right.
They fucking my
Right.
shit up. I was supposed to be there. I got you.
Right.
I was
Right.
ready
I
to get
remember
you.
that. I
I
remember
was
that.
ready to get you, man. I was ready to get
Yeah.
you. Now I
Well.
gotta pray for some upsets and shit. So
Yeah.
hopefully
Well.
some upsets
Well.
happen, and I
Oh,
will
Yeah.
save
I
it
will see
for it.
you. I'll see you. I will
Yeah.
see you if some
Absolutely.
upsets happen, man.
Yeah. And a good
Listen,
thing you got a spot here if you need it. So so it's all good,
listen,
man.
man. I appreciate y'all from Nickel City Crew, Bills Mafia, all of us, man. Listen, Alex, I appreciate you. You already know I love you, Tom. Bobby, I mean, we are namesakes. We are namesakes, motherfucker. Listen, don't let these people deter you. Don't let them drive you off of this shit. Terry Pagula got one dick. He got one dick. He is one man. And it's hard, man. It's hard, man.
You
McDermott
must have
and
fun at
Bean, they
parties.
they coming back next year, man. It's just He only can handle so much, man. He's one man. He's not multiple men. He's not a Bills man and a Sabres man. He's Terry Pagula. He's one man. And it sucks, but it is what it is.
Yep, absolutely. And one thing I will tell you is, and Bob, if you ever get to meet Crippen in person, he is fucking hilarious to be around. Great guy to be around. So
I was supposed to meet him a few months ago, you son of a bitch.
Well, that's because your ass is 3 hours away.
I was supposed to meet his ass.
Right. But one thing I will say, of course, before we go into the second half, the exclusive interview with Glenn Parker is coming up at 9 p.m., so it's going to debut on all the platforms. So, of course, check that out. Glenn was a lot of fun to talk to and got to dive into his Super Bowl days and actually got to learn about some of his coaching time that he had, as well as his love for culinary. So it was interesting. So of course, we all got to be a part of that. So check that out. That'll launch at 9 p.m. here. And then, of course, Nickel City Crew simulcast on I-86 Network. Of course, check them out. Give them some love. And, they have some great stuff.
We go live on Friday. I just talked to DT, my co-host. We go live on Friday, man. We're going to holler at y'all. We're going to let y'all know how we feel. We're going to let you know how the turkey was tomorrow. We're going to let you know how everything goes, man, on Black Friday. Check us out before we should be going live around 5 o'clock or so. So that'll mean that the actual Black Friday game is going on. And I really do appreciate y'all. Thanksgiving is a time to be thankful, and it's a time to reflect on what you're thankful for. I'm thankful for you, Tom. I'm thankful for you, Bobby, Alex, the whole I-86, man. Like, I'm thankful for y'all. And I mean, we'll just keep riding, man. We all what does all Bills Mafia want? We can disagree about everything. We all want to go to the same fucking parade.
We all want
to buy each other shots.
Yeah.
And we all gonna pray that our best friend doesn't die that night. And like that, like we could all be in unison on that. Like, I hope my best friend don't die tonight. Like, we're all like that's it, man. We all want to be at the same parade.
Mark or something.
Yeah, man, we all want to be at the same parade.
Maker's Mark or something. So,
man, we are all at City Hall and we're all praying like, yo, my best friend Aaron, I pray he does not die tonight. Like, yo, I pray. I just pray. I pray.
Yeah,
and I just want I want McDermott and Bean and Brady. Hopefully Brady is never even back after next year. I just want everybody to get out of the way. Let Josh get what is rightfully deserved to him. He is an elite quarterback. He does need help. Part of the problem is him. You know, you saw him running around against Houston, right? That's not not all on Brady. You know, he running around, he's doing different shit that fucks up the offense. He is worthy, and that's the only thing. I'm an 85 baby. I was 5, 6, 7, and 8 for the Super Bowl run. 5, 6, 7, and 8. If Jim Kelly was worthy enough, but all they did was party too much, then I know Josh Allen is worthy enough. He's worthy. He's worthy to get a Super Bowl. He's worthy. He's worthy.
I was going to say, and I go back to 82, so I've only got 3 years on you, but I was around.
Man, he's worthy, man. Josh Allen is worthy.
He is.
He's worthy. He's worthy.
Yeah, that guy came.
100%. So good stuff.
I love y'all, man. Listen, I-86.
Love
I love y'all. Nickel City Crew. Check us out this weekend, Black Friday. I love you, Bobby. Bobby, I know we get on each other's nerves. I love you, Bobby. I love you.
Too.
I know I get on your nerves.
Right.
I'll be fucking with you on purpose. I love it.
I know you would be, you fuckhead.
I'm like Brandon Bean getting on Pagula's nerves. I'm fucking with you. You can't do nothing with me. I can't go nowhere. You can't send me nowhere. I'm just gonna be fucking with you. I love it, man. I love y'all, man.
Good stuff. Rob, good to see you, man. Have a good you and your family have a good holiday, of course, as well. And definitely tell DT and the crew we say hi. And let's and definitely next time you're up, wings and beer or shit, I'll break out the shot bottle. So
let them host the playoff game like they were supposed to. I mean, New England got the division, but let's host a playoff game. Let some upsets happen in the first round of the playoffs, and I'll be right there, man. You owe me some bar bill, man. Right in wings.
You got it, man. You got it.
All right, man. I love y'all, man.
Love it, man. All right, good to see you. And then, of course, if you guys want to check Rob out, Nickel City Crew, we do simulcast them here on the I-86 network as well. And, of course, they will be on Friday night. That being said, what we're going to do is we're going to jump on to our commercial. And then, of course, coming up is going to be the second half of the show. We're going to get into hockey as well as some other fun Thanksgiving stuff. So stick with us. We'll be right back.
This episode of I-86 After Dark is brought to you by the Long Island Bills backers. If you're a Buffalo Bills fan living on Long Island, there's only one place to be on game day. Instant Replay in Huntington Station, New York, with 56 TVs, 4 pool tables, and an atmosphere that feels just like Orchard Park. You'll never miss a snap. Grab one of their delicious burgers, sink your teeth into their award-winning wings, or try their stacked sandwiches. There's something for everyone. So join the Long Island Bills backers this season and be part of the biggest Bills family on the island. Check out their Facebook group or just scan the QR code in our show notes to get connected. Go Bills!
All right, welcome back to I-86 After Dark. You got the Ginger Hammer, you got Buffalo Bob, of course, we got Alex joining us, and of course, if you missed the first half of the show, where the hell were you? Because that was probably one of our best first halves of the season so far. But glad to have all of you here with us. Of course, as always, we are brought to you by Simply the Best Cleaning Services. If you need cleaning, remediation, insurance cleanups, anything in that sort, they're open 24 hours. Give them a call, 716-912-6940, and tell them I-86 sent you. And, of course, they're a proud sponsor of the show. And then, of course, if you're down in Bobby's neck of the woods, hit up Super Fry as well. They make some great stuff. And, of course, we've both had the opportunity to be there plenty of times. But let's jump into hockey. And, of course, I did want to just mention one quick thing as well. Of course, with Thanksgiving holiday coming up, our two friends of the show, actually, our friend Sophia is doing well. So we just want to tell her, keep up the good fight with what she's doing. She's still going through the cancer battle, but keep that going. And then our new friend of the show, here from North Tonawanda, Meredith Roberts, we want to say, we're glad you're doing a lot better as well. We know that your transplant surgery went successful, and all of us from the show, we're going to send you something. So we'll get some of those stuff out to you in the near future. But looking forward to meeting you once you get healthy, and we're going to get everything out to you. So we just wanted to mention that. So our thoughts go out to both families, and we wish everyone well.
Definitely.
All right. So, of course, after the show, Glenn Parker, check out the interview. Yeah, stay with us until the end of the show, then check out the interview. But anyways, we're going to get into hockey. And, of course, real time right now, Pittsburgh just went up 3-1. So, looks like Mantha just ended up or actually, no, it's not Mantha. But, no, I just actually looked at my TV real quick, and no, Hayes ended up just scoring the third goal. So it is 3-1 Pittsburgh right now down in the Steel City. So, of course, we'll talk a little bit about Road 32 before we wrap up. But Sabres right now, they either are playing really well or they're playing like ass. There's no in between. Lately, of course, they have been getting some points. They did actually get a couple wins. So that's a big plus. And even better, Toronto is in the absolute basement out in the East. So at least we've got that going. But it's a tale of two teams. Either they get off to a quick start and they blow leads, or they get off to a quick start and they manage to somehow make wins. So right now, as of tonight, not counting this game, the Sabres are only 3 points out of a wild card spot. Okay, we're in a better spot than we were last year. But we still have a lot of issues that we have to address on this team. And one of the things right now is injuries. But then also, now that UPL is back, you have Lyon, you have Devin Levi who's not happy and wants out. What do you do with the goaltending spots? Because right now, we're wasting a spot that we could use either on another defenseman or on another forward.
Go right ahead, Alex. This is all you.
Sure. Well, I would say we should go look for a new move on the forward that we need help on the scoring because our power play is coming up in the struggles so far. And the problem is, like Jordan Greenway, he's been having hernia, hip surgeries lots of times. And I think that's the only guy that we could start moving him. And there's an option that I see that Quinn Hughes is on the trade rumor with the Vancouver Canucks, him looking on the interest between Bo and Byram, like going back to his hometown. So honestly, and the fact is, like if Quinn Hughes for Buffalo on the defense, very good skater, and he scores more than Bo and Byram. He's fast, and he's got some good agility and acceleration. And I just thought about that would be a cool move to send Bo and Byram back into Vancouver. But I don't think that's really going to happen. So I believe that he has been keeping this whole heart right after the New Jersey Devils Hughes family, like Jack and Luke, into this whole situation that he's looking to reunite and play the three brother trio. And I don't know what was going to happen. So I would probably love to see Quinn Hughes be on our landing spot in the blockbuster deal. And even Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen on his trading rumors that people are freaking out how bad he is doing because he ain't that energetic enough and on the stretching on making those stops because the problem is Owen Power because he has been too soft right in front of the crease lots of times that people are saying. So I believe that Owen Power's got to go. He has been playing like a soft pillow all day and he's not strong and tight enough. I think that is totally the number one worst draft pick that we have ever done in 2021 COVID.
Well, I mean, I look at you guys, and then I'm saying to myself, you guys have a lot of talent, but it feels like you could never really go far. Tom said it before. Lyon is playing great. Luukkonen just came back. Levi wants out. Georgiev just got his contract terminated, and then all the news
and
that's coming
Georgiev
up
sucked when he played here. So I mean, so Georgiev being ousted. I mean, that's no surprise. But I mean, I don't think we're managing the goaltending roster that well at all. Quite honestly, and that's one issue because. I mean, with Georgiev, I mean, I've said it on the show before, we should have never gone after him. And why we did, is beyond me. Now, granted, UPL, I mean, I remember him back in the rookie combine, and he was a lot better than what we see now. And injuries decimated him. I mean, when you have 2 hip surgeries in 3 years and you're having constant time out, I mean, it almost gets to the point. What do you do? Is he your number one goaltender going forward, or do you trade him and get value while you can? And the thought that I have is, I mean, with Lyon playing well, I mean, I think that okay, you have a serviceable goaltender and one that has actually showed up. He's been there most nights. Levi, I want to see him play up here a little bit more. At this point because he's been playing well in Rochester. He's done that the last couple of seasons he's been here. And I don't think he's gotten as much of an opportunity that he should have had after that first season where we basically started him and ran him into the ground almost with trying to get those wins to try and make a playoff spot where we ended up finishing points out. So at this point, I think the goaltending is something we have to address. And whether it's you carry 3 goaltenders, whether it's UPL, Lyon, and Levi, I honestly think that would probably be a better move to have those 3 as your 3 goaltenders and get rid of a 4th. But at the same time, I understand why Levi wants playing time. And I think he's earned it in a lot of senses. So what do you get for Levi in return? I mean, if we're going to trade Levi, I want a minimum, at least a number 1, and then some assets to go with it. Because Levi has that really good potential, and he has a really high ceiling in terms of his development. But then another thing I look at in terms of what we've had with the injuries, of course, one of the big things is Zach Benson and Josh Doan. Now, Benson's finally back. Doan, when he has been on the ice this season, he has had some really, really good moments. And he's leading the team right now. When you look at 53.3%, Benson is at 51.4%. I mean, they tend to control the puck a lot more. And that's something you need. You have to control the offense. So not only are they giving them that control but they're giving them that energy boost at the same time. So I mean, those 2 players have definitely done some good things. And at the same time, then we have to worry about, of course, Kesselring with him being hurt. Kulich has been hurt. Of course, UPL's finally back. Josh Norris, although he's finally starting to to get healthy again. So is it something where there's still potential? I mean, we're only a quarter of the way through the season. And I think that there is, but the one thing that has to happen though, Owen Power, that has to be addressed because he continues to struggle. And I don't think he was developed properly. And basically, at this point, I'm really starting to question whether we should really look to try and get some assets for him. And actually, it looks like Jack Quinn just scored, so it looks like it's 3-2.
What I was gonna say is that I feel like the Sabres have so much potential just based on everything, but it just feels like it's like a big crowd, but you have nowhere to really go at that point, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's like there's like a lack of direction.
Yeah, really. I mean, I know Alex has a better insight on the Sabres than I do, so I'm curious though about the whole scenario because I don't know if y'all heard this or not, but supposedly there was a rumor that came out from Nick Kyprios as of late. And during the trade deadline in March, it was reported that there was a deal in place between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Buffalo Sabres. And the deal was supposedly going to be Brandon Carlo to the Buffalo Sabres as part of a potential deal in the offseason for JJ Peterka. And that would have involved Carlo that had been materialized, but then the talk shifted towards a Carlo for Bowen Byram framework, but again, nothing progressed. And Carlo is currently out with a lower body injury on the Toronto Maple Leafs and is expected to be an attractive option for teams looking into add on the right side. And I'm going to say this immediately. If this is by anywhere near true that Brandon Carlo is available for trade, I think Buffalo will look at him again. But it depends how far in they're in it. You know what I mean? Like, if you compare that to like Colorado or any other team for that matter, someone is going to pick up that phone and they're going to say, hey, is Mr. Brandon Carlo available? And someone will say, yes, I want this, 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 and this. Even a bag of shit will probably apply to that.
Right. I mean, they would have to give him a serious look. I mean, there is no reason not to at this point. And especially with where we are in this season, we're not completely out of it by any means. I mean, there's teams performing a lot worse than the Sabres right now. Look at the Maple Leafs. They're absolute shit this season.
The New York Rangers.
Yeah, them too. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can look at it. But if you can get players like Zucker, Benson, Norris healthy again, Kesselring's been a nice addition. And I was originally, Bob, you remember this, I was pissed about that whole trade with Peterka to Utah. But actually, I'm liking what I see with Kesselring and liking what Doan can do when he's healthy. So I don't think it was necessarily bad looking back on it because we needed some defensive help. And plus, we're getting a little bit more on the offense, which is good.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you know what, too, is that I think the Sabres did a tad better than people suspected. But that doesn't excuse Peterka, being traded just because Adams didn't want to sign him. Don't get me wrong on that.
Right.
That was insanely idiotic. But the fact is that Kesselring, I've heard that he's been injured a lot this year, but Doan has really been like the one that stands on top of the mountain as far as like everyone else. But I'm curious on both of you guys, like what should the Sabres do moving forward? Because it feels like at some point you have to adjust because you're not going to be able to keep Dahlin or Thompson for that much longer. And then it's like afterwards, it turns into a pile of shit because it's like it's been so bad for so long that you're almost at the point where you have no choice but to trade Dahlin or Thompson.
Right. Or Took might be gone even before that, knowing that there's ongoing negotiations there. So, yes, there have to be some things done. And I think what has to happen, penalty kill's got to be strengthened. Although we're doing okay, it's not great. Penalty kill has to be strengthened, number one. Number two, defensively, we have to still boost the pairings. We have to fix the goaltending situation and decide which goaltender are we keeping. And my thought would be is that right now, if there is a better goaltender out there than UPL, package UPL and get him out of here because he has been all over the place in terms of his performance. The last several years he's been here, and he has been injury prone. He's not able to move through the crease like he used to back when I first saw him at the Combine. So those are things we have to look at. Another thing I would even say, and here's actually someone to watch. I would not mind seeing Radim Murtka come up at some point and get some grit in there because he is not afraid to throw the body around and he's not afraid to hurt people. So you got to look at that sense too. Get some toughness in there. But ultimately, will Lindy Ruff stay? And will Kevin and will, of course, the GM stay, Kevin Adams? I think you have to get rid of the rotten head at the top, and that is going to be Adams should have been gone 3 years ago. Honestly, he should have never been GM of this club, ever. He should have never had his hands on it, especially when you could have gone after someone like a Montgomery or a Benning or someone that was actually available at the time that would have known their ass from a hole in the ground. Adams should have never been here. And it goes back to what we've talked about before. Terry likes his yes men, and Kevin Adams is a yes man. And the whole palm trees comment, he should have been gone even after that, because it shows he doesn't give a crap about what the fans think. So you change a GM for the millionth in infinity time, get a president of hockey operations. So then this way you have someone that has a pulse on the club, and this way Terry doesn't have to be hands-on. But of course, he got scared after the whole thing with Ted Black a decade ago and decided, no, we're not going to ever do that again. Well, guess what? You need a president of hockey operations, so this way you can actually keep your hands off the club, let the president of hockey ops make the decisions, let your GM do what they need to do, and then build a roster. And I think talent-wise, we're not that far off. But I also think eventually we do need a better head coach. And I would say, get Gallant in here. I mean, he's still one of the ones I wouldn't mind seeing. Hell, I would even take Boudreaux over that too, just as a better example over what Lindy Ruff's done. Sure, the nostalgia thing, I get why they did it. And yes, he's one of the winningest coaches in Sabres history. But guess what? It's a different game now than what it was. And I just see potential problems going forward with this team responding. And the Sabres are going to lose because there's 57 seconds left in the third, and Pittsburgh just got an empty net goal, so it's 4-2. Although the Sabres have actually outshot Pittsburgh 29-18.
Well, I think Alex has an opinion about the Sabres at this point, because I have a lot to say about them in a few minutes.
Okay, well, actually, for my opinion of this game, well, we were still a very good team, and we couldn't even skid it real well enough on this one. I thought we were really going to win this one after the injuries that Pittsburgh has been dealing with this problem. But instead, Crosby, Malkin, Rusty have been all over the world and gone into the empty nets and gone in the open spots. And I say Luukkonen has been doing okay, and he's still a great goaltender. And I think he's still got some more practice to keep working on. So we'll see what happens if he is going to go for the Friday game against New Jersey that I'm going to, or Alex Lyon will take his spot to take a retry.
I guess we'll see what happens from here on out, because like I said, Buffalo has so many problems. I mean, they're not completely a dumpster fire, but I think they could do better. But yeah, they do need to fire Lindy. They do need to fire Kevin Adams, because that team is not going anywhere. As long as the bitch yes man is there, there is no hope for the Sabres.
Oh yeah, they ain't going anywhere. And hopefully at the end of the season, because I think Adams' contract is up at the end of this season, and I know Lindy's is up at the end of this season. Clean house. That's what you gotta do. Clean house.
Yeah, clean it up and just broom it and sweep it right in the dustpan. See ya. There's the door.
It's astronomical. It's astronomical, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Fuck. I mean, it's like a never-ending cycle with the Sabres. I mean, at that point, you have to think to yourself, is this team ever going to get better?
Not unless they clean house, and not unless they get a hockey ops president. That's really the way they got to go. And it just went final in Pittsburgh. The Sabres lose 4-2.
Well, God damn it. If it makes you feel better, the Islanders are losing 3-1 to the Boston Bruins deep in the third. So there you go.
Yeah. No, I got you there. And you know what? It actually brings us to the next point that we wanted to jump into on the show today. And it is, are the Islanders Cup contenders?
I'm going to say right now, no. But I think they're heading in the right direction. Because here's my stint on the Islanders. For one, they have a young core. They have a young Matthew Schaefer who's been phenomenal. In fact, I think he's doing better than people give him credit for. Because if you remember, I remember saying to you, I'm happy the Islanders got the first overall pick, but I also said that we don't fully know if Schaefer is the guy moving forward. And I've said that for a while. But he's so far proven, can he actually do it? And so far, he's been doing much better. He's actually leading all defensemen among rookies in goals. Hell, he's
Yeah.
almost breaking records that Cale Makar had not even a few years ago, which is
Yeah.
fucking insane.
It's
But
great. And I've seen a little bit of him play because sometimes I do get Islander games up here and I'll just watch just to kind of see what he's doing. And I gotta say, I mean, you guys hit on your number one pick because he is a lot better than I even thought.
yeah, and then look at the team now. They're playing under a better system with Patrick Waugh, and he's also playing under a system with Ray Bennett as running the power play, and then Bob Buchner running the power play, and then Ray Bennett running the penalty kill. And we actually have a couple of comments coming in. Holy fuck! So
hey, it only took an hour and 24 minutes. Jesus, guys, where have you been?
Because we wouldn't shut the fuck up about the Bills.
Yes, Robert has been real busy with that long conversation that puts us like kids watching on TV all day. Like, come on, give us a turn. We ain't like this.
That was like a rarity. It's like you get two of us ranting on the same thing for. I think the two of us
are like a married couple. Let's put it that way. You two, like me and Alex in this situation.
Yeah, it's hilarious, and I think. I mean, I took like the first 10, 15 minutes going off on a rant, and then Rob came in and, and thanks to Rob for joining us, by the way, too. Absolutely great to have you guys here. And then Rob had like a good 15, 20-minute rant on his own. So, I mean, literally, I think we took like the first 35, 40 minutes just ranting on the Bills.
Jesus, you two wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
it's all good, man. Hey, we brought it for the special, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We also have a new guy on board, as you know, and I'm like, are we going to chime in? Are me and Alex going to talk?
And surprisingly, I didn't even drink any liquid death until after that rant, so all was good.
Jesus Christ, Tom.
Hey, that's what happens when you're gone from the show for 6 weeks. So
yeah.
But no, hi the gamer says hi Buffalo Bob.
Hello. And then we got another one from what the Elon Musk is this shit. Happy Thanksgiving to all. A special one to Buffalo Bob. Oh, I got a little love on here. That's awesome. I appreciate that,
wow,
guys.
That's a first.
Great comment.
It's all good. It's all good. And of course, if you guys want to comment, feel free to go to the YouTube page. We have that up and running, and of course, we take them in real time.
Yeah, you know what I was gonna say before is that here we got another fucking comment from Natalie. Hey guys, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, same to you and yours.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to all you do.
Yeah. So anyway, before I lose my track on the Islanders, yes, I don't think that they're cup contenders, but I think they're building a foundation for certain. And it's gotten so crazy in terms of expectations about Schaefer already that he got randomly drug tested for the Canadian Olympic team coming up in Milan in the middle of February. And I'm saying to myself, holy shit, if he actually makes the Olympic team at 18 years old, that is fucking wild.
Yeah. It's impressive.
Oh,
yeah, definitely impressive. And no matter what Schaefer does, I mean, he's having a great rookie season. I mean, and I think he's honestly outperforming everybody's expectations. And I remember we were doing the draft special last summer when we saw him go first overall. And then I remember there was we were debating as like who we wanted for the next pick, whether it's the hometown kid or anyone else. And it was just, but it turned out, Schaefer's been doing a hell of a job for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. And Schaefer entered the Olympic drug testing protocol over the week, making him eligible to be selected for Team Canada, according to Elliot Freeman. And he said Schaefer wasn't at Canada's orientation camp back in August, but Freeman did say that he is in the fight for a spot in Milan for Team Canada. But in general, though, that is really damn impressive for an 18-year-old rookie, mind you, to be playing for the Canadian Olympic team in another country from here.
Yeah. And actually, Nelly's got another comment on here, and Nelly ends up asking, what do you think about Buffalo's loss against the Texans? Oh, boy. We covered that in the first hour of the show tonight.
we actually covered that in the first half. And if you want to know the short, sweet answer, Natalie, to this question, Tom had a fucking aneurysm, and then his best friend Rob, who I guess you could say they were trading blowjobs with one another, they were having an aneurysm from one end to the other. It was so loud that me and Alex were like two kids in the corner waiting for their parents to go through a divorce. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, there was a lot of pent-up frustration we both had to get off our chest.
Yep. And then we got another comment from the Hit Gamer. He said the Islanders are having a hard time trying to win at home. See, I don't agree with that. I think they just have trouble playing Boston. That's what I think it is, because the Bruins have their number. And if they met in the playoffs, you could bet your sweet ass the Islanders would get swept in the first round. But probably at this point, it's probably not going to happen. And if the playoffs were to start today, mind you, the Islanders would be playing the Devils in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so lots of different things can happen, but yeah, let's kind of go back to talking about Schaefer though, and I know you had a few more points that you wanted to bring in about what he's done this season, and of course now if he makes the Olympic team, I mean that's a hell of an accomplishment in year one.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing that was received last week, because this is when Alex and I met, was the Islanders were on the road in their last 7-game road trip. They were on the West Coast for the majority of it, but the last game was on the East Coast against the Red Wings. And prior to that game, head coach Todd McClellan gave a lot of praise to Schaefer. He basically said, quote, from the outside, we didn't expect quite this type of performance, and the fans in that community will be really lucky to watch him for many years. So there's some high praise from a very highly talented coach in the NHL. So there's that from that perspective. But I do think that, Schaefer is a hell of a player. They're going to definitely build around him. And I think Darsh knows that full well, that they have a generational talent potentially on this team. Even though Schaefer was not gifted like that when he first got drafted, he is playing so much better than he actually has been labeled to be as. It's crazy.
Yeah, and even looking at some of the rookie tapes too, I mean, like even prior to jumping in the draft, I mean, he just elevated his game a whole nother level. And then we got another comment on here, and I don't even know what the hell his username is, but he ends up asking, how do you think the Islanders are going against the Bruins? Well, they're losing against the Bruins right now.
Yeah, they're losing to Boston right now. It's not all great, but they have a game coming up on Friday at 4 p.m. against the Philadelphia Flyers. So I will not even be in Long Island. I'm actually going to be driving west to Pittsburgh with this fuckhead on my bottom end of the screen. So congratulations, Dick. You and I are going on a road trip together.
Yeah, another one. Was it? How many road trips have we done now? Well, let's see. This will be the 4th road to 32 we've done together.
Yes,
because we did Kansas City, Cincinnati, Seattle, and of course now we're doing Pittsburgh. Then when we were, and Seattle actually, we got to throw that in there too.
Well, if you want to count 5 for when we did the Phillies, then I don't know if you count that or not.
Yeah, sure, why not? We did that. So, yeah, I mean, we've done a couple Mets trips, did a Phillies trip. Let's see. Yeah, Kansas City, Seattle, Cincinnati, of course, Pittsburgh now.
Yeah.
Then if we throw in the Seattle Kraken, which was a little side trip we did when we went to see the Seattle Seahawks, we could actually throw the Vancouver Canucks. We went up to Vancouver that one day when we were there, so we could count that. So, yeah, we're getting closer to 10.
It's pretty crazy, really. But we actually do have
at least 2 other times that I've driven down to Long Island on top of it. So,
yeah. Do you think the Islanders are looking like a playoff team and that they could make a good run in the playoffs? I'm going to say it depends, because for me as an Islander fan, I'm going to say depending on how they do in the second half, because first half they played great so far. Second half, I didn't expect them to be there. I didn't expect them to be second in the Metropolitan Division. I did not expect that one bit. I'm surprised that they're this good, but I'm not ready to put them as a cup contender. But I could definitely see them being a playoff team. Kind of like how, if you remember, and I'm sure you guys remember this when you were young. I know Alex was very young when this happened. Was when the Leafs when they got Austin Matthews. It was 2016, and then the following spring they made it to the first round in a 6-game series against the Caps, and then they lost. And then from there they built up their foundation, which was choking in the playoffs. But to answer your question, I see them being a playoff team, not cup contenders yet. I want to see what Darsh does moving forward because he's only in the first year of this job. So I'm not going to throw a storm at him.
Yeah, absolutely. And then do I see the Sabres getting into playoffs right now? They have to have a lot of things go their way because right now it's just they're too inconsistent.
Yeah, I mean, another team that's also been kind of inconsistent is the Vancouver Canucks. Holy fucking shit. Oh my God.
Talk about a fall from grace from last year.
Jesus Christ. Well, Alex, how do you feel about the Canucks in general?
Canucks in general, I think it is really good for them in that franchise. So they still got a very good team. And I don't know how long Quinn Hughes might stay there. He might be moving on to New Jersey or Buffalo in the move, so we'll see. So I believe that the Canucks are going to have a chance into the 85% in the Cup contender landing spot. So they just need to keep up considering on the skating in sharp corners where to shoot at. And they still need to keep up, keeping on eyeing on running the fours if they're about to shoot it in the net. You just can't just keep backing up and getting scared like that. You got to be a man and get real angry and just come right for it. It's like, coming at you!
What does that have to do with the Canucks?
Well, I say that they're like one of the greatest Canadian teams as like one of the third favorites, and I just don't even like how they lose against the Montreal Canadiens, the most team in winning Stanley Cup champions in history, and I just don't like how their horn sounds like that. Like, come on, Habs, are you piece of crap or what? You have a really great fan base than the Canucks like this? Come on, Vancouver is more popular than the whole French in the Quebec Stadium like this in the Bell Center. Show respect to Vancouver and let them get a work on and get your ass out of Vancouver if you lose.
Well, Vancouver has a lot of problems right now. And to answer your question,
yeah, they do. I mean, they're slumping quite a bit, and you know when you look at some of the things that are going on, I mean, hey, you got if they continue to slump, I mean, you could go after the lottery pick and potentially go after Calvin McKenna, but I mean, they're just they had a 90-point non-playoff season, and now they're 3 games under 500 for the first time since 2023. And if they keep playing the way they're playing, they're on pace for only 71 points, which is not good out in the West when you have so many powerhouses.
Yeah, no, I mean, Vancouver is a fucking shit show. And Damien and I touched up on this very briefly on last week's show. And we touched up on how Jim Rutherford was refusing to trade anybody at this point, where he said, I'm not trading Quinn Hughes, but we want to be better, but we're willing to trade everybody else. And apparently there's speculation that the Canucks are charging a new direction in their disappointing start, and some names and veterans in particular are being prioritized to be moved at the trade deadline in early March. So my question is, what the fuck is Vancouver's philosophy? I mean, you're not going to keep Quinn Hughes, even though you outright say, yeah, we totally are. You're full of shit because Vancouver is so bad. They're full of shit.
He wants out. He's going to want out.
He can't stand living in the Canadian place. He wants to go to the United States and want to play with his brothers, I think.
I think that's like the end game is like Vancouver wants to keep Quinn Hughes, but Jack and Luke are already in New Jersey. But then if you have Quinn, the Devils may very well get better from here. But I've also heard rumors about the Flyers. So I'm curious if the Flyers are actually going to throw in an offer for Quinn Hughes. But we'll see what happens because apparently they have the assets to do it.
Yeah, very possible. And we got some new comments on here too. So actually, Ethan, Dave, Mike, nice to see you. Basically mentioned that the Islanders are getting wrecked by the Bruins. And then Hit the Gamer actually mentioned that the Islanders were able to win the shootout the other day. And then his other question we actually talked a little bit about with the Islanders being a potential playoff team. So you know, the Canucks have a lot of work to do. I mean, there's still 59 games, so they have time that they can win. But right now, I mean, their winger Kiefer Sherwood ended up saying on Sportsnet, quote, all of us are competitors and we expect better results for all the work that we're putting in. We've got to continue to grind through it. Get back to work tomorrow. It's a big road trip for us. And he also ends up then going on to say that he thinks that they have a lot of good pieces in the room and they just have to put it together on a consistent basis, which is true. It's similar to the Sabres right now, where they have to do that. And I mean, they end up losing against the Dallas Stars, where they outplayed the Stars in the third period, but they lost by 2. So there's just a lot of different things. And Breck Besser ended up saying the same thing. So it's just, they've got a lot of things that they need to work on, just like the Sabres do. So it really still could go either way, but Vancouver, it might be too much to come back at this point, because when you have teams like Vegas, you have the LA Kings, Utah's playing really good hockey right now. I mean, when you've got all those teams, Colorado, of course, you can't count them out. When you've got powerhouse teams out in the West, you lose too many games, you're shit out of luck.
Basically, I mean, you can only do so much in that situation, because the Canucks are a shithole, as we already know. And then you have teams like Winnipeg, San Jose, Edmonton. Edmonton is a fucking joke. I don't know if anybody.
God.
Oh my fucking
They're
Lord.
way worse than I would have expected this year.
I've already heard rumors about Tristan Jarry being traded to the Oilers at the deadline. Are they that desperate to get rid of Stuart Skinner?
I know, right? And just to think that Tristan Jarry was a starter for the Penguins just a couple of seasons ago, and now he's like turned into one of the worst goaltenders in the league.
Yeah, he's their Rick DiPietro.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And the fact that those words came out of my mouth of all people, bringing up fucking DP just really pisses me off.
Yeah, the 15-year contract.
Yeah, says the team who paid Ville Lena all that money.
Yeah, we got stuck with that for 8 years.
And Christian Ehrhoff. Yeah, exactly. So shut the fuck up.
Stuck with that for 8 years too.
Yeah, you can shove it up your ass.
Yeah, don't remind me of those two. That Ville Lena. Yeah, that's like the whole thing with Mikhail Grigorenko, how we ended up getting screwed with that deal because we decided to it's like, oh yeah, let's let him stay past his entry-level deal where he stayed past the 8 games. And then it's like, oh shit, he sucks. We can't get him. We can't get rid of him.
No. I will digress on this. Garth Snow was a fucking idiot. Let me put it that way. Garth Snow was a goddamn idiot for even signing DP to that contract to begin with, and Verkeer is a moron for even signing Ehrhoff and Leno to those deals to begin with themselves.
Yeah, exactly. But getting into a couple other things too, and then we're going to jump into baseball and a couple other things before we wrap up tonight. But if you haven't followed Mikko Rantanen, well, if you didn't see what that one play was, where a lot of people thought he should have had additional disciplinary actions taken, he is eligible to come back.
He's really starting to get on my nerves, because I always respected Mikko Rantanen, but he started to really get on my nerves as of late. Mm-hmm. Because the game against Dallas, I think it was a week ago, when the Islanders were in Dallas, Mikko Rantanen did something so fucking shady that it pisses me off, to the point where he took out Alex Romanov for 5 to 6 months with a dislocated shoulder, and he can't play till April, which really sucks. But then Elliot Friedman, of all people, yes, the one and only Elliot Friedman, said that the NHL felt really strongly that skate contract from Scott Mayfield led to Mikko Rantanen boarding Alex Romanov on Tuesday last week. Friedman, however, said thinks there's no excuse for Rantanen's latest hit on the Long Island native, Matt Coronado, that was in the Calgary Flames game. And Friedman said, quote, could see there being a supplemental discipline. And then Kevin Bieksa, who was on TSN also, said that he would argue that they were both bad. But do you guys agree with Friedman's comment, or do you agree with Bieksa's, and do you think Rantanen should be suspended? Because I'm pretty sure at the timing of that recording that he is service suspension for a couple of games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, based on the play, I do think he should have had some supplemental discipline. However long it would have been, it's tough to say, but you take somebody out for like 5 to 6 months, that's a problem.
Yeah, and I say that Mikko Rantanen needs to be medicated and needs to start having NHL hearing on how to be clean and fit.
Yeah, what were you saying, Tom? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking he should have had supplemental discipline done, after that whole play, because that was shady as fuck, when I ended up looking at it.
Yeah. Alex, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Well, that's right. Well, I was saying that Mikko Rantanen should be medicated and need to start having some NHL safety hearing on how to play clean and stop being like a dirty bully and getting people injured in franchise. Like, what are the difference, like, about the dirty hits before? Like, This guy, Nicholas Jalmerson, like he just put up a cross checking in 2010 on my favorite, Jason Pominville, and it was kind of dirty right behind the head. And he could have been even charged like fined for 30 or 40 grand fine and never play again if he can't pay that. And even Mikko Rantanen, he's still a great player, but I'm starting to get really, really disappointed about his control and the way that he's starting to get me in minors like you are feeling, Bob. And I don't like what Rantanen is doing right now. He just doesn't know how to make clean checks on his own control. He is playing too much defense in the high checking right up below the shoulder and pushing, getting someone hurt like this. He just needs a real discipline to start having a lesson on respecting and have a real community guideline rules.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it like this: Rantanen is a douche. I'll put it that way.
Oh yeah,
it is a douchebaggery thing. What Rantanen's trying to do, and he's trying to play dumb by basically saying, "I didn't mean to hurt the guy." Fuck you. You certainly did, because if you didn't mean to do it, you should have never went after Matt Coronado. You should have never went after anybody else for that matter.
right.
But no,
Yeah,
you decided to do it anyway, and he's a douchebag for it.
Yeah, he is going to have a taste of a knuckle sandwich if he keeps turning on someone like this. Quit being like an asshole dick face, Rantanen. You are ruining everyone's whole NHL franchise as a big fan. You should have just stayed right into Colorado. That is your place, and you just betrayed you partners like Nathan McKinnon and who else? Right, Cal McCarr, and of course Gabriel Landeskog. But sometimes when my father watches him playing in the DraftKings game, when he's no good, we call him Landis Log.
Ladislav, that's an interesting last name to call him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he made that name as a funny name when he starts sluggish himself and rolling and tumbling all over and cannot even activate to capitalize the skating and scoring chance.
Yeah. So, yeah, at that point, you just have to think the NHL is not going to do anything, and they're a joke because they're not going to suspend a star player. They only did it could be like, see, look, we have some sort of decency, but they only did it just to point out like, hey, we can actually suspend players, but they actually don't do shit about it.
Yeah, it's like they don't even care about it. But what about the time when Tom Wilson was starting to play in the preseason and he put up that dirty, high, illegal elbow hit to the face on Oscar Sundqvist and he got suspended for 20 games under that star 43 of the Capitals. And that is a long term and missed over 2.5 months with that serious action on hitting someone up in the face with your shoulder or elbow. That's totally illegal and you'll be paying the fine, and I don't know how long you might last to stay in suspension. He's just needs a lot of work on controlling of that action too. So difference. Wilson, Rantanen are almost alike, very similar on high checkings right below the jaw and the chin. And they just need to lower their elbows while they were hitting. Got to only put up their hands to push away. You can't use your elbow or shoulders. That's how it's going to keep breaking someone's bone and need more surgery, and it's real disgusting.
Well, fuck him anyway. So I guess, we're getting close to the end of the show. Let's talk about the two trades that have happened as of late.
Oh, yes. So the Mets ended up making some deals, and the big one that ended up coming out just the other day, longtime outfielder Brandon Nimmo got traded to the Texas Rangers in exchange for second baseman Marcus Semien.
My initial thought at first was, why did they trade Nimmo? And then I started looking into it, and it turns out that the Mets, by that one trade, saved them $30 million in cap, which really benefit them. Semien's only going to be there for 3 years, so it's not like an overhaul, but it depends what they do in free agency. Because at that point, you have to think, are you getting Fernando Tatis? Are you getting Kyle Tucker? Are you getting Cody Bellinger? You need hitters. You need better defensive players. There's a lot that goes into it that you have to accommodate for. And if you're trading a fan favorite, then you have to do something about it. And, you have to make up some sort of wiggle room to make something like that happen. And the Mets said, fuck it. We got to go and do it.
Yeah. And honestly, I mean, to get Semien for a few years, it's not a massive overpayment. You're going to have a good second baseman, so that's a big plus. There's others you can put in the outfield. So, I mean, there are different ways that they can approach that. But one of the things I can say, you know, having seen some games live now at Citi Field, and actually have gone to several with you now over the last few years, is that there's a couple areas that they have to work on. Their outfielding is not where it needs to be. Defensively, they have to get stronger. And then what the Mets do with their pitching rotation is going to be one of the big things going into next season, because that's an area that they have to improve. And think about it, Senga might be out soon too. I mean, he's been getting hurt the last several years.
That's true. That is absolutely true. But, and by the way, the other thing I want to touch up on real quick, and then we'll get to the Thanksgiving questions, is the trade that happened yesterday between the Cardinals and the Red Sox. So the Red Sox get Sonny Gray from the Cardinals, great pitcher, but the two guys in return that they got, and this is pretty hilarious. So they get a guy named Brandon Clark, who was in their prospect pool, and then they got another prospect named Dick Fitz.
That's a very good last name.
I shit you not.
Man, we could have some fun with that on this show.
I shit you not. There's a guy in the world that you have to really hate your child to name your first kid Dick and then your last name Fitz.
Well, it could be worse. I remember when I was working in the insurance world like over 10 years ago, and someone's last name was Pussy.
Oh my God.
and we actually saw that in paperwork. I'm like, did I just see what I saw here? And it was actually spelled Pussy.
Isn't there a guy that plays for the Raptors? His name is Dick.
I'm trying to remember if there is or not.
I don't know basketball. That's why I'm asking you this question.
Well, I'll look at the roster right now. Yeah, Grady Dick.
Oh my God!
Forward, 200 pounds, 22-year-old. So yeah, number one.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
number
18.
one, Dick.
Number one, Dick. That's a really good compromise.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with the first name, Grady, but his last name is Dick. I mean, it could be worse. Michael Penix Jr. or Michael Penis Jr. for all.
Oh yeah, remember when they spelled it wrong in the lower third and they spelled Penix's penis?
I thought how you're crazy with that name.
They actually
Kind
spelled
of
it
like
Michael
going
Penis
grainy, like rain bread stick Dick.
Oh my God! Fucking hell, man! But no, in general though,
I love it.
Yeah, that's great. But no, I wanted to share that real quick. Sonny Gray got traded to the Red Sox for Dick Fitz and Brandon Clark.
So Jesus. Oh, and you know what? And the funny thing is that whole thing with Michael Penix. Oh yeah, someone actually clipped a screenshot of that.
That's
so
great.
it lives on the internet world forever. At this point.
Oh my God, you can't be serious.
Oh, actually, yeah, I found it, and it's also on Facebook too. So yes. Courtesy of that CBS station, I just sent you that in an instant message there, Bobby.
Yep, Michael. Yep, I've seen it before. Michael Penis Jr., Falcons quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Michael Penix. Man, I thought it's Penix, but its real name is supposed to be Penix, like almost penis stick face.
Why didn't they just call him Tiny Penix Jr.?
There you go.
Why that? Because they think that he's that good with left hand. I think he's got one horny left arm that he's pointing out like peanut.
Probably. It should just write Dick on his forehead.
Yeah, he is a dick head.
Hey, it could be like the new Beavis and Butthead episodes where Beavis got the tattoo that says "dumbass" across his chest.
For the most part, yes.
Which, if anyone hasn't seen the new Beavis and Butthead episodes, if you want some old school funny stuff, yeah, definitely check that out on Paramount Plus and Comedy Central.
Yep.
So,
Fuck.
But that being said, let's get into a couple last things here before we wrap up, and we've actually gone almost 2 hours tonight, which we normally do on our specials. But for Thanksgiving, of course, one of the things that we always like to talk about is some of our memories, like whether it's within the sports world, any like food, games, Black Friday, favorite things to eat. Things we've always talked about at the table, and or if there's any travel, what do we all do? So, Alex, since you're the newbie this year, you're going first.
All right. So back at this. So the best food that I enjoy for the Thanksgiving and the holidays, I go with the turkey. It's just so juicy and delicious right up into my mouth that I like to shove it like a dog. And I don't know what I have to say about this, but turkey hits a spot that makes us want to celebrate. When Bills played Thanksgiving dinner once when I watched the game, like they played against the Detroit Lions 2 years ago, it's like everyone eats it right out of the bucket full of wings, and I thought it's almost like we're holding dick wings.
Well, when you say juicy, I thought you were referring to something else. Like, I just had to throw that out there. But no, I definitely enjoy a good drumstick as well myself. But I also like sweet potatoes.
Those are good. They actually got some breaking news coming out of baseball. So the Blue Jays have signed Dylan Cease to a 7-year deal worth $210 million.
This is why the Jays will never win
Wow,
shit.
that is so overpaid.
Yeah, and he declined the qualifying offer by the Padres.
Damn it. Fuck. That's an overpay.
So doesn't like any pinstripes.
Yeah, so 7-year, $210 million free agent deal. So good job, Blue Jays.
There you go.
All right.
That's
So back to the
terrible,
Thanksgiving
guys.
table.
Well, what about food?
Well, for food, I will say I like going after some stuffing. I enjoy the veggies and mixed up with potatoes and some of corn right inside of it. So stuffing hit the spot. I just love the recipe that it comes up in a veggie and protein mixed together. So it's totally the best side order that I enjoy for the harvest feast.
What about you, Tom? What do you like?
Oh yeah, definitely gotta do the turkey. You always gotta do the white meat, the dark meat. You gotta throw a lot of gravy on everything. Of course, can't go wrong with the good old stuffing. That's always one of the things I love having on Thanksgiving. Get the potatoes going. Ethan, you're definitely right, man. Turkey is a classic, so of course, gotta have that. Can never go wrong with either like the cranberry sauce or even one of the other things that we usually do. With my house is that of course, we'll have like some different pies and stuff like that. So, of course, typically there is the pumpkin pie. My mom's cheesecake is always one of the things I love having this time of year. And actually, she taught me how to make it too. So I can help now, which is nice. And, just being around friends and family and just enjoying football and, just kind of catching up. So it's always a good thing and nice to do that. And, I'll be doing that tomorrow with my sister, brother-in-law, and my mom. And and my sister's kids.
There you go. And what do you do for games, Alex? What do you guys like to play over at the Tischendorf household?
Well, we like playing cornhole, and we had a mini one, and it's got like the audio Bluetooth speaker for the Bills football. And too bad it just doesn't, it's not comparable for about it. So for the games, what I'm going to do is head into the church with my friend Tara tomorrow, and probably going to do like some of like bingo, or probably do like some of Connect 4 around like that. But we'll see, and I'll let you know in the GM's text, and you'll see.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, apple pie, absolutely, 100% agree with you on that. I love good apple pie.
Yeah, me too.
Ellie, butterscotch pie. Tell us a little bit about that. That sounds interesting. And of course, yeah, absolutely the stuffing. Gotta have that.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with stuffing.
Yeah.
But
Bob, what are you doing tomorrow?
well, tomorrow it's funny you say that. I'm going to my sister's for the first half of the day, and then I'm going to my wife's aunt's house for dinner, pretty much, and then obviously you're going to be watching some football because why the fuck not? It's Thanksgiving, and then I think after dessert we're probably going to play a few rounds of left, right, center, or even Uno for all I know.
Okay. Good stuff.
Uno and left, right, center, they're fun games too. And I like playing quarters when I want to do money bets on left, right, center. But the hardest part is like getting the dots to keep things, but I keep getting centered and sending them away. Like, come on. I hate center.
Yeah, no, it sucks. I know that feeling.
Yeah.
What about Black Friday?
Oh, Black Friday. Well,
I'm dropping for Black Friday this year, so I ain't doing anything except for the stadium tour, and we're going to go out to eat somewhere later that night.
Yeah, Sam, we're traveling all day to Pittsburgh. And Ethan said apple or pumpkin pie, guys. Depends on the situation. I like pumpkin pie if it's filled with whipped cream on the top. Because I don't like to eat pumpkin pie by itself. That just feels weird.
I don't care for pumpkin pie as much, but I definitely love a really good apple pie.
Fair enough.
yeah, I agree too. I love apple pie as well. And it's really good recipe, and it's just hits the spot at a great fruit pie and recipe.
Yep. Here's an interesting controversial question. And
Okay.
Tom, you're going to start with this one. What's being discussed at the dinner table on Thanksgiving?
There's a lot of good things I can think of. I know in the past, when my grandparents were around, sometimes it would get a little too political and we'd have Democrat versus Republican going around and have some different things with that. So, yeah, luckily we don't have that much now, which is good. But yeah, there's just a lot of random shit we talk about. It's, nothing too crazy. And yeah, Hi the Gamer, it mentions politics. Yeah, we've had that at my table before. And I mean, we've got some in my family on both sides. So it can get interesting. I remember one year, actually, my grandmother threw my two aunts out of the house because they were fighting so bad to the point where they were just causing a ruckus. So there was that. And then I remember one year my cousin ripped ass so bad on the upstairs that we could smell it downstairs. So I remember that whole thing where it went through the walls. But other than that, no, normally it's just catching up. I mean, there's nothing too crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Alex, what do you guys talk about?
Oh, what do we talk about? Actually, I have no questions about this kind of thing, but the problem is, like, I haven't had, like, Thanksgiving for, like, over 6 years during to the COVID after we were in the middle of home alone and we had no friends next to us. So we were trying to get our lives back together, and we are missing our lots of life of having families with us after we just grew up. And I felt so heartbroken after I lost my Nana when she had a cancer battle going through in the breathing in 2020 of February. And we were all in the praying and heart beating in pain about this. So I put up in my fights in life to keep up living and learning of how to be a good man and make my great grandmother proud, and wanted to say grace and thank her for everything, for being the greatest member of our family, and especially for Uncle Carl that he has put up in the World War when I wasn't born and I haven't noticed about it when my father shared about it. So it's only two reasons I'm going to say in this Thanksgiving question.
Okay.
Fair enough. Well, for me, it's mainly football and obviously politics. I don't get involved in politics. I have my beliefs, but I'm not going to share it because it's a sports show and I'm going to keep it that way. It's not our place to do that. If you want to talk about politics, there's a lot of political shows out there, but not here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we like to rant on sports and talk about some of the different things going on with some of our statewide teams and all that fun stuff. And of course, in the different leagues in general and all that. So it's basically what we like to do. And of course, yeah, we keep the politics out of it. But that being said, also, if any of you guys want a little bit of a preview, we are going to have Road to 32 coming up. So Bob and myself, I know one of our former co-hosts, Rob Hazu, and your wife is going to be joining all of us. We're going to be making the trip down to Pittsburgh on Friday. So, of course, as we go throughout the trip, we'll have some different clips of some of the different things we do. Of course, we're going to do the stadium tour at Acrisure Stadium, so you'll get a good close-up look at that. And yes, we do get to go on the field for it. And then we have some other things that we'll be doing along the way. So, of course, once that episode is ready, of course, we'll let you know when that's up for everyone to take a look at. Hopefully, the Bills get a good win, which we're looking forward to. And actually, we're going to be running into Urinating Tree when we're down there. So that'll be a fun time. We're going to break some bread with them and, see them for the second. We'll actually get to meet up with them for a second time. So that'll be really cool. Ethan ends up mentioning Sucks a Great Team can be here tonight. Looking forward to seeing you guys next episode. Yeah, we appreciate you being on.
Yeah.
How the Gamer says, let's go Sabres, Alex. So, yes, let's do that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So we'll get that set. And then, of course, for anyone who wants to watch the Glenn Parker interview, it is live now. So if you want, take a look. Stay with the channel for a little bit, and you can hang out for another hour and watch that. But that being said, we got a lot of stuff accomplished tonight. I think we did a good catching up, good special tonight. Rob Crippen, Nickel City Crew, check him out as well. We appreciate him being on. Guys, were there any other things you want to talk about before we wrap up our special here?
Well, I just want to say really quick, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you who are watching. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Tom. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Alex. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Drive safe, drink responsibly, have a good time at wherever you're going. Just be on the lookout. Don't do anything stupid, and you guys are going to be just fine. So with that, have a great holiday, guys. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday, and Damon will likely be back for that one.
Yep.
Right, sounds like a
And
plan to
Alex,
me.
any last thoughts that you want to mention?
What, Tom?
Oh, I was going to say, Alex, any last thoughts you want to mention before we wrap up?
Well, I want to wish you all have a great Thanksgiving. Keep your family safe and keep your whole world together and keep it working on. And if you got some problems going on during the holidays when it's a struggle, pray to God, and He's always knows how to give you the trust and keep the holidays happy and enjoy the meal and give the grace words and speech of how to thank Him and giving us the greatest foods of our lives, and it hits the spot. And just have a great time and have fun. And I wish you all the best. So enjoy the holiday. Happy Thanksgiving, you all. So, amen.
All right.
Yeah.
And then what I'll mention as well is, of course, if anyone's going to be traveling next couple days here in Buffalo, just be really careful because the lake snow is starting to come in. We got a little taste of it tonight up here in Niagara Falls. And Hi the Gamer says, good night, guys. Enjoy the holidays. Yep, same to you, my friend. Ethan says, bye, Alex. And Ellie says, have a good holiday, everyone. Same to you as well. And just be careful if you're driving the next few days. I know we got some pretty interesting lake snows coming in, and especially if you're south of the city. I know I'm going to be driving through it on the way to Pittsburgh. So, just be careful if you have to go anywhere. Be responsible. Hey, if you want to drink, there's two things. You can either use Lyft, you can use Uber, or get a family member that's not drunk to drive you, because it's a lot better than having a crap ton of fines and possibly hurting somebody that you may love. So, just be responsible with that. Other than that, of course, stay safe, and we appreciate you guys joining us every week. And of course, happy Thanksgiving to you guys as well. And with that, we'll go ahead and we'll wrap up for the night. So, for Buffalo Bob, Alex, and everybody here at I-86, have a happy Thanksgiving. Have a safe Thanksgiving. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you next time.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving, you guys.